Hey guys, so today I want to just talk to you guys a little bit about some messages that God gave to me, and I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory so you can take it into perspective. Um, about 2 years ago, God started to give me messages on how angry He was that nobody's listening, and nobody's taking Him on, and everybody's doing their own thing, and they're rebellious. And He draws references to places like Babylon and Egypt, where they practice witchcraft and they served idols and all these things, and He drew that reference, and He compared today's society to that and to those times. So the scripture that I want to reference to today is in Jeremiah 7, and God gave me Jeremiah 7 this morning when I was asking Him just for a message about what's on His heart, and what's going on. So today I want to take a little time and explain and go through Jeremiah 7 and outline how it applies to today's society, and in more specifically Trinidad and Tobago, because that's where I am right now, and I believe that it's for this nation, although it could be applied to all. So what I'm going to start with is Jeremiah 7 verse 1, and I'm just going to paraphrase it. I'm reading from the New Living Translation. God told Jeremiah was simply, He said, okay, go tell the people this message. And the message was simply, if you stop doing wrong things, nothing bad will happen to you. But I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that. I want to dive a little bit deeper into that, especially in the situation of Trinidad and Tobago. So, what it says is, even now, if you quit your evil ways, I will let you stay in your land. But don't be fooled by those who promise you safety simply because the Lord's temple is here. They chant, the Lord's temple is here, the Lord's temple is here. I seriously want to draw a reference from that statement and that false safety that a lot of Trinidadians take for granted by saying God is a Trinidadian, by saying, this country was named after the Trinity because of the near misses that we've had over how much years and how much decades, where natural disasters seem to, we're positioned in a place where it just barely touches us. And a lot of people take it for granted and say, God is a Trinity, nothing bad is going to happen to us. We could continue doing whatever we want to do, and nothing bad is going to happen to us. But God says He will be merciful only if we stop the evil thoughts and deeds and start treating each other with justice. And so it goes on to say, if you stop the injustice, if you stop the and it says here, exploiting foreigners, widows and orphans, and I mean, like that means taking advantage of them. And if you stop murdering and worshiping idols, and stop harming yourselves. You see, there's an important thing by the phrase harming yourself by worshiping idols. It doesn't do God anything if we worship idols. He is still God. He will forever be God. And by you worshiping idols, only harm yourself. Idols is a very, very broad term. People usually think of it like, okay, an idol is something physical that you bow down and worship to. But it's not necessarily that. Some people, idol is anything that you put above God. It could be a job, a car, anything. It goes on to say, okay, if you give up all these things, and I'm paraphrasing, God says, alright, things will be fine. And it goes on to say, don't be fooled into thinking that bad things will never happen because the temple is here. Because, people take for granted God is a Trinity. No, that's false security. That's not true. And he says, and it says, do you really think you could steal, murder, commit adultery, and burn incense to Baal and those other new gods of yours, and then come here and worship in my temple and chant, we are safe, and go right back out to do those evil things again? And that in itself, I believe, does not need any sort of clarification. I mean, that is the most clear thing in this scripture. It doesn't need any more explaining than that. Yeah, so I want to close it up now, and it goes on to say important things. It goes on to say God keeps sending his prophets, and he keeps sending his people to tell them, how to change from their wicked ways and to do the right thing, and you're just not listening. And the last part, God says, tell them all of this, but don't expect them to listen. He says, shout out the warnings, but don't expect them to respond. I think it's a tough truth, and it's happened a lot of times in history, in biblical history, where a warning is sent and a message is sent, and the people don't listen and the nation don't listen. There's a lot of times in scripture where places were destroyed even, and people were taken out of their lands and stuff because of that rebelliousness. And you know what, if one person listens from this video and changes, I will be very happy, and pretty sure God would be as well. I know there are a lot of praying people here in Trinidad, a lot of people who believe and have a relationship with God, and this is a warning. And the good thing about God is that he does send a warning. He always sends a warning. This scripture was a warning to the people of that time, and now it's a warning to us. Yeah, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this. Have a read, Jeremiah 7, and spread it around. Tell some people, tell some folks. And those of you guys in church, focus on having a relationship with God. Focus on asking him what's in his heart. Yeah, guys, so have a good one. I'm out until next time.